In Saving Private Ryan, Matt Damon's character tells an awful story that feels out of touch with the rest of the movie's great writing, but the ins and outs of the terrible speech explain how and why it eventually made the cut in Steven Spielberg's epic. The scene in question takes place after the group of soldiers led by Captain Miller, Tom Hanks, has succeeded in their task to find Private James Ryan, Matt Damon, who is to be brought to safety and discharged as a result of his three brothers all becoming casualties of war. During a conversation with the captain, James amusedly recounts the deeply unfunny, unimpressive story of the last night he spent with his siblings. Considering that Saving Private Ryan is widely regarded as the best war movie ever made, the scene seems like oddly dull dialogue sequence in an otherwise witty screenplay. However, in his book The Gross, producer Peter Bart reveals that every line of the speech was actually improvised by Damon, who made the addition on his own initiative. Upon watching the scene, most people utterly disliked it, but Spielberg, despite agreeing with them, consciously chose to keep it in the film. Matt Damon's improvised story worked for his character. The Matt Damon Saving Private Ryan speech was a brilliant bit of method acting. Matt Damon Saving Private Ryan Old Man. The Matt Damon Saving Private Ryan speech was completely improvised by the actor, and he specifically went for something lackluster as opposed to grand, heroic, or in keeping with the rest of the dialogue in the movie. As surprising as it sounds, what ensured Damon's impromptu story's place in Saving Private Ryan is precisely its subpar quality compared to the rest of the script. The speech is delivered by James during a conversation with Captain Miller, who encourages him to picture a memory with his brothers. James tells him about two of his brothers dragging him into a barn in the middle of the night to witness the eldest make out with a girl, which leads to a series of random, cheap physical comedy-style incidents. Despite Damon's effort to make the humor believable by punctuating the account with snickers, the story is far from entertaining, with the comments about the girl's allegedly unappealing appearance making it also childish and offensive. As Bart writes in his account of the behind-the-scenes of Saving Private Ryan, Spielberg himself acknowledged that the ad-libbed speech was neither profound nor insightful, but that this is what made it seem true to this oddly unformed kid who was fated to be at the center of this mission. Ultimately, the story works precisely because it sounds like something an average immature boy would find funny, which is what Damon's character is all about. Private Ryan is not supposed to have heroic traits or even be particularly charming or interesting, but rather an unremarkable, ordinary young man at the mercy of events, which makes the tribulations involved in his rescue all the more dramatic. Tom Hanks' reaction makes the speech better. The improvised response to Private Ryan's dull story sells the scene. Tom Hanks and Matt Damon in Steven Spielberg's Saving Private Ryan. The Matt Damon Saving Private Ryan speech may have been jarring for some viewers, but the fact that Tom Hanks' Captain Miller seems to share the feelings of the audience makes the scene work remarkably well. There's every chance that Tom Hanks' awkward reaction to Damon's improvised lines is due to the actor being genuinely unimpressed with his colleague's made-up story, but his uncomfortable attitude makes James' speech seem more consistent and in line with his character.